Hi Cancer, this is going to be a love and relationship tarot reading for you for January 2021. This is going to be a general love reading, but I want to dive into what's going on with Cancer and their person this month. What's going on and what is most important for Cancer to know about their love and relationships. I will provide a secondary perspective for the single Cancerians watching who are looking for love currently, and that will be towards the end of this reading. Let's shuffle for just another moment. It looks like we're actually ready to go, Cancer. Let's look at these cards together and see what's coming up for you for January 2021, love and relationships. Ace of Wands, Ten of Swords, Hierophant in reverse, Hanged Man, Page of Pentacles, the Tower, Eight of Wands, Nine of Cups, Knight of Cups, Four of Wands, and the Four of Cups, Moon and Cancer. Okay. At the bottom of the deck is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. It looks like you're losing steam on something, Cancer. It looks like you've been plugging away at something and you're just running out of momentum, running out of energy. So this Ace of Wands in the middle of the reading, okay, it talks to me about this spark. I have the Tower here, Mars, this really instant attraction. It's as if what is going on with you and your person, Cancer, it started with a spark, but it ended just as quickly and just as passionately as it began. So I feel like there was an instant attraction with you and your person, Cancer, or who you're dealing with at the moment. That spark is still very much there, but for something the Ten of Swords is telling me, like, you couldn't really go any further or progress with your relationship. You were kind of reaching a dead end, or even a crisis point. This talks to me about something that was very physical, that ignited very quickly with a spark, but almost crashed and burned at the exact same speed, okay? This obviously won't apply to all Cancers, the ones who are listening and saying, hang on a minute, I'm very happy with my person. But for some, I do see an energy of crash and burn happening that really took you by surprise almost. Hierophant in reverse is telling me that for you guys, you and your person, Cancer, you're trying to defy tradition. You're trying to do something that's a little bit out of the ordinary, a little bit non-conventional. I see that there's some of you that want this happy home engagement, something very stable, but you want it to be a little bit more flexible. Maybe your person, I think it's you, Cancer, is the person that doesn't want the traditional, very conventional relationship. You want something that's a little bit more modern, or just that suits you guys a little bit better. Is what I'm seeing. This is telling me that, like, you've kind of been this is why I'm feeling this energy of, like, the endurance that you've had to put into your relationship. You've reached some sort of a dead end currently, Cancer, around you and your person. Maybe there was a crisis that you guys actually incurred, but this Hanged Man is saying that there was some sort of a limbo, or there was some sort of a hold up placed on how you guys were progressing. Now you're moving. Yes, now things are moving for you and your person, Cancer, but there had been such a weight on it. It's like you weren't seeing the same perspective as one another. One of you, I think, wanted something. One of you really wanted to be right. One of you, it was more important, I think, for one of you in this relationship to be right. I think it could have been the person you were dealing with. But you know, these energies are interchangeable. So, you know, find what suits you more so, but the people can be interchangeable. What I'm reading is that your person really needed to be right, and their perspective needed to be seen, but you wanted to do something that went a little bit against the grain. It could have been involving something else separate from your relationship, but what you wanted to do, it went out a little bit out there. They're very reserved, I think, compared to you, or not as flexible as you. Their minds can't be changed the way yours can. So I think you often find yourself just like giving in to what they say, and like you're maybe even forsaking a part of yourself, your individuality, or like you're actually forsaking a bit of yourself by just giving in to what they say all the time and agreeing for like to avoid these big eruptions and these fights and these these big arguments, blow up fights, and you kind of just give in and say, okay, you know what, you're right. You've gotten a new perspective very recently on your relationship. It had been building and building, but suddenly you became enlightened. There had been some sort of a slow, stagnated energy around your relationship. I see movement happening, but I definitely still see this kind of something hasn't fully been resolved. There was a hold up on how you guys were progressing, but in the meantime, you got some new perspective that made you see like, hang on a second, I can't give in to this person all the time. Like I have to stand my ground more. They can be quite, I think, intimidating, quite domineering, your person, for some of those Cancers watching out there. Some of you tried to do something new together, a new approach on something. Some of you wanted to actually start saying, hang on, you know what? I don't think we do so much together. We don't share the same interests. Like, we're talking about different things all the time. We're not on a common ground of understanding. Or I feel like for some Cancers, you even feel like the direction your relationship is going, only one of you is leading you there with a loving and open heart. One of you is very forgiving and compassionate. You could be dealing with a water sign, a fellow water sign. This is Pisces, can be Scorpio or Cancer, so a fellow water sign Cancer in your life maybe. You kind of feel like the direction you're going towards, you're really going to have to put up a fight to get it the way you want, because usually you just kind of go along with what your person wants, the direction that they're going, and you kind of a fish to adapt into that rather than you taking the reins on things. It's like you're going on some sort of a new adventure together. It had been building a while, some decisions being made for you Cancer to do a new approach, or even just start sharing similar interests, pick up a hobby together, watch a series together, just something that you can bond a little bit more, because your conversations seem to be going in two separate directions. You don't like this, you want to rebel a bit Cancer. You don't want this kind of like, this is always the way it is. You want to say, well, what can we do differently? What works for us? We don't have to just go by kind of a textbook example of relationships 101. We can be flexible and we can break boundaries. We can break the rules. The Tower, I do see coming up for these Cancers that this reading is speaking to right now, some sort of a blow up argument. I'm not going to lie, this is what's there. You hope, Four of Wands, this Tower here, right here, that's been hit by lightning in the form of what I'm thinking is going to be some sort of a blow up argument for you. It's actually the same Tower back here, which is preserved and happy and stable. And you know what's going on in there. It's all good times in that Tower. There's no fights, there's no arguments. So I know you're really hoping for that. I know you want this Cancer, but there's something that needs to be cleared up in a big way before we get to that. There's something bubbling and brewing beneath the surface in the Cancer's love life right now, and it's to do with a huge differences of opinions and a huge difference of perspective. I feel like there's like an instant attraction. And look, I don't want to, we can kind of look, what does that wand look like? It's that instant attraction. So I see like that an argument that's coming up in the near future, or a blow up conversation. This is about communication, very rapid communication, and it needs to be said. Something needs to be said to your person at this point, Cancer. The conversation needs to take place and what it entails, and you probably know that there could be some sort of a blow up about that. In order to get to this stable, happy home, something that's brewing under the surface needs to come up. Okay, so just be mindful about that energy. All right. Knight of Cups is saying that things can be soothed out in a kind of loving, compassionate, forgiving way. I think that your person, Cancer, if you're dealing with the fellow water sign, if this isn't you that's the one extending the olive branch, I think that they will, after you get everything off your chest, don't be afraid to really tell that person how you're feeling, because that's when this olive branch gets extended, or the opening, or the possibility to sort of soothe things out and kind of come. This is a very understanding, very good negotiator. Try not to get caught up. Like, these are very different energies in how we will approach your current situation. Some of you are at a dead end about your situation. We could go with this approach, a big fiery blow up argument, or we could be the kind, understanding, good listener, good negotiator here. All right, the choice is yours. Okay, it looks like the outcome is very dependent on how you approach this situation, because the Four of Cups is kind of telling me, Moon in Cancer, that you'll still feel a little bit dissatisfied, a little bit bored, a little bit stuck, a little bit stagnated with your partner. Some of you Cancers, this is such a fiery relationship you have, that you're used to the drama and the excitement, I think, and the passion and the making up and all of that it still kind of leaves you like this person, like it still leaves you feeling like there's maybe something somewhat missing from your relationship. But you know what? It can't all be excitement and passion and drama. There has to be sort of a stability there. I think that's what you will be learning, kind of how to just navigate your relationship when it isn't excitement all the time, when, we have those little bit more boring times with the person we're with. And, it's a sign of a healthy relationship to be kind of okay with the weeks that aren't particularly exciting, or you're just not on the same level. You feel a little bit withdrawn from each other. So that's what's coming up for Cancer's love life right now. This is just a month reading. I wanted to just look at what's coming up this month, particularly for Cancer's love and relationships. Let's look at this if you're single and looking for love, Cancer. I think some of you have somebody that's pretty much on your mind right now, somebody you feel a pretty big sexual chemistry with, somebody that you really fancy, somebody that's very attractive to you. It may have recently changed, transitioned into something else. For some of you, this very instant connection, it could have burnt out really quickly for the single Cancers watching. For some of you, you had to kind of say to them, like, where is this going? Are we taking this to a next level? And they may have said, no, we're dead end. This was just sex. This wasn't going to be a relationship. That's what some of the single Cancerians may have just been dealt with quite recently. How we can navigate that is it's the same kind of message, like upright. This is very traditional by the book, church wedding, ceremonial, ritual kind of, like centuries old kind of a ritual taking place like a wedding. But this is when we're defying that and breaking the mold a bit. For single Cancers, it might be just stepping out of your box or what your usual type is, or just breaking the mold in some way and breaking tradition, whatever way you view relationships, Cancer. For your single Cancers, it might be what you needing to do is just switch your perspective. I see it gaining a new understanding your perspective. I think you're opening your mind on the type of person that potentially you would meet. This person that there was, like, for some, I feel like there was already somebody you really are attracted to right now, and it maybe just recently ended, or it's changed shape. They may have, you may have met them via the internet, you may have met them online. This is a good indication for recently meeting someone that you're texting with or on an app with, or that you're still in like a correspondence with. Might take you by surprise what happens next in your love life, Cancer. It might take you by surprise that this attraction that you felt with this person that you had that instant attraction with, that maybe blew you off, that might be the surprise that they come back into your life. They reappear for you, take you by surprise. They kind of come in really hot and heavy, all guns blazing again. If it's unrelated, this might be just who you meet in the next few months, the next person you meet that's aligned for you. You'll be very shocked at the kind of person this is. You'll be thinking, God, I would never normally go for this kind of a suitor. This is the card of the romancer here. So there is a court, or like, I sound very old fashioned, but courtship. This is like you being courted by somebody, you being seduced by somebody, or somebody putting in a lot of effort to get to know you. And it'll just be somebody that you're very surprised, like, oh God, I never thought I would go for this type of person. But it's about breaking the mold and breaking tradition and thinking outside the box and even surprising yourself. You're going to be surprised, Cancer. I can tell that you want this stable home, happy engagement. For some of you are really looking to get engaged. But you know what? It's just at the moment, some sort of a boredom is set in on you, or you just feel uninterested by what else is out there. Some of you are very much still set on this very like this instant connection you had with another, very sexual chemistry here, really what's going on around you, that I just think if you're not able to open your mind on new perspectives, we might still be in the Four of Cups. The cups represent love, emotion, and feeling. And we see that there is one being offered to you, Cancer, but you're not interested in taking that person. You're dwelling on these cups here. Ex, recent ex, ideal man that doesn't exist. Ideal woman that doesn't exist. what's here? Spirit, your guides, the universe is actually presenting you with an offer of love that is aligned to you, but you're so focused on this, or you're so tuned out or in your feelings that you're not seeing that this is a really good option for me. So don't discount anybody just yet. They may very much surprise you, and you may have a really good physical connection with the person that's just a little bit wacky or a little bit individual and out there. I see that texting, corresponding, emailing, phone calling is going to be coming up really strongly for the single Cancers at the moment too. So keep an eye out. That's going to be your love reading for January 2020, Cancer. I will get back to my regular scheduling of just doing monthly, month ahead look at each month for you this month, but I will also try and fit in a love reading monthly too. It seems like people are very interested in that type of a topic, so let me know in the comments if a love reading like this is something you would like to see again, Cancer. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. I will talk to you again soon.